Welcome back to Origami Snowman. My name's Matt. Today is the day after Good Friday and the day before Easter. I'm sure that there is some religious name for today, like Super Sad Saturday or something. I don't know. But, yeah, that's where we're at on the calendar. And I realized that some of you may not know what Easter is, other than a day when your parents give you candy. Whoops. And that's great. Parents giving you candy, I'm all in. Nice job, parents. So Easter is traditionally the day that the Christian church celebrates the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ was born to a very young couple, Middle Eastern couple. They were Jewish, and he is said to be the Son of God. Those were his claims, and that is what I believe as a Christian. And one of my favorite things about Jesus is that he didn't care where you were from, what you were like. He didn't care about your money. He didn't care about, he loved people. He loved everybody, and he encouraged everyone to do the same. He just said, look, all these little things that you talk about and all these little, these little concerns, they're petty, and they don't matter. I love you. My dad loves you. You should love each other. Like you guys set up all these labels on all these walls that separate you, and they do no good. So get rid of those labels, get rid of those walls, and just love others. That's it. Period. Boom. There should not even be an argument. But, nowadays Christians do like to say, I do love others. I just can't love them if they don't do X, Y, and Z, or if they live like A, B, and C, or, if they are from this thing, or if they voted that way, or if they love these kinds of people. They like to set limits on God's love and on their own love, and that's stupid and dumb and wrong. So sorry if you're one of those Christians who's like, yeah, I love everybody, I love others, but why do they have to be gay? Nope. Shut up. You don't get to be prejudiced and claim to be a Christian. That's just my take. Although, let's be honest, we all have a lot of growing to do. We all make mistakes, and we are all, we should all strive to be better. And lucky you have it so easy. Being better just means you don't have to be such an a-hole all the time. Moving on. So Easter is traditionally the day that Christians celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And why that's a big deal is that it's said he conquered death, and so now there's no finalization of the human spirit. It goes on. It has the potential to go on and live forever. Hang on one second. I'm doing fine. Now, there are all sorts of days that go, like you might see on the calendar. Oh, Palm Sunday. What's Palm Sunday? Palm Sunday is the day that Jesus rode into Jerusalem, and the people celebrated his coming because he was his message was so, radical. This whole love others, and they're no one's better than anybody else. That was huge thing. And it was so radical that people wanted to kill him for it. People have been doing that for a long time. That's nothing new. So sorry again. But Palm Sunday is the day he rode into town on a donkey, which is a symbol of it's almost humiliating. Donkeys, they're not purebred. They're not, why not on a great white steed? Because that would have sent the wrong message. It's the same reason that when the angels brought the message of the birth of Christ, they went straight to the shepherds, the lowest of the low. Socially, they were nobody, right? Why didn't they go to Like the wealthy. Why didn't they go to the Pharisees? Why didn't they go to, all the pompous religious leaders of the day? Because the message that, they took the message to the people who needed the message. They took the message to the people who would hear it and would appreciate it. You know, the Pharisees, when they got the message, when Jesus started showing up and preaching the word and doing miracles, they were not happy. They did not like that message. They wanted that message to stop. So, no, the angels took the message to the people who needed it. And Jesus showed up to the people of Jerusalem on a donkey, the people who needed to see, themselves represented. They would not have been represented on a great white steed. They were represented on this, tired pack animal, this animal that was bred purely for the roughest work. It was not a beautiful beast. It was, it was just this tired, ragged old thing. Actually, it might not have even been old, but still, it was a symbol. And when he rode in, what they did was they took off their cloaks and they cut palm fronds and they laid like a path for the donkey to walk on. So, which was also symbolic, them paving the road, for Jesus. So that's Palm Sunday. That's the Sunday before Easter, I believe. I might be wrong. I don't have a calendar in front of me. I grew up in the church, and I'm still not entirely sure. And then there's Ash Wednesday, which, I'll be perfectly honest, I have no freaking clue. No idea. Google it. It's there. Somebody else who paid better attention could tell you what it is, but nope, not I. I just know that the first time I saw someone, observing Ash Wednesday, I was probably about 20 or 21, and it was this kid I worked with, and I looked up and I was like, "Hey, you got some stuff on your forehead, man." And he was like, "Yeah, it's Ash Wednesday," and I was like, "Okay, first of all, I don't know what that is, but you got some stuff on your forehead, man." Anyway, I look back on that and I laugh. I don't feel foolish or anything. I don't feel dumb, but like, it's just funny because you'd think, having literally grown up in the church, almost literally in the church, I would have known these things, but no. Oh, well. So then there's Good Friday. And Good Friday is the day traditionally that Christians believe Jesus was crucified, so that he was nailed to the cross, a nail through each wrist, and then his feet were one on top of the other, nailed up against the cross. And then he was tormented and mocked and left out there to die. And physiologically, if you understand, the human body, you're standing on your feet that have been pierced by this huge spike, and that's very painful. So periodically, you will let yourself hang to take the weight off of your feet, and then you've got these spikes like pulling at your wrist, which is absolute agony. And on top of that, because all of your weight is hanging from your arms, it's pulling on your ribs and on those muscles, and it's making it impossible for you to breathe. So in order to breathe, you then have to stand up and take the weight off, but putting it back on your feet, drawing a gasping breath, all the while that pain in your feet is unbearable. It's not probably in my top 10 ways to die, I would say. So if given the option, that would not probably be at the top of my list. So he was left out there, and eventually, when these victims of crucifixion, if they survive too long, if like the Roman guards get bored, they would go and break their legs so that they could no longer support their weight with their legs, and they would eventually suffocate. And when this happened, to make absolutely certain that they were dead, what they would do is they would stab them in the side with a spear, to make sure that the white blood cells and the platelets had separated, because apparently once, I might be very wrong on this. This might be completely out of left field, but when the body dies, the blood starts to separate. So you've got the blood and the platelets, and they don't mix; they separate. And so when they stabbed these crucifixion victims in the side, they were testing to see if the blood flowed separate from the platelets. And the platelets being clear, it looked like water, so they would say blood and water flowed separately. I don't remember where I heard that. I might be way wrong. Maybe I'm right. I don't know. But none of this is the point of my faith. This is not the driving theme of my faith. So I don't feel desperately, I don't feel that it's desperately necessary for me to know all the facts. The crux of my faith is loving others. So, and once I nail that, once I get that right, once I'm done doing that, then I'll move on to the other stuff. But until I can love others and have done so, until I'm done loving others, I'm not going to worry too much about all the other details, because that kind of cloudies things and muddies things up, and I think it tends to isolate people, because they look and they think, oh, I have to know all this other stuff before I can, believe in God or whatever. It's not true. That's not true. And I know believing in God can be pretty hard sometimes. So why do we complicate things with details that are unnecessary? I don't know, but we love to do that because we are exclusionary and we are elitists. And, if we can make you feel stupid, we will find a way to do so. That is human nature. So Easter, so Good Friday is the day that Christ died. And then, so Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday morning, he rose again, and that is Easter Sunday. So, and that is why we celebrate with rabbits and eggs. It's all so clear. Anyway, so if you are, if you're confused about some of the Easter traditions, be confused no more. I feel like I've put all of that to rest with my very concise explanation of Easter. Yep. Now I did see that. I did see that in the stores, Hershey's is, maybe they've always done this, but I've never seen it before. They are selling chocolate crosses. Because chocolate eggs, that's pagan. I guess. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I have no idea. I really don't understand. Easter's not my favorite holiday because the traditions are a little bit confusing. The colored eggs, the hiding of the eggs, lots of candy and chocolate, the pastel colors, the bonnets. I don't understand a lot of it. It seems like a lot of busy work that the church made up. I could be totally wrong. And I'm sure there's some great explanation. But again, I don't, the traditions of Easter are weird. Now, I love Christmas, and arguably the traditions of Christmas are even weirder. But I don't care. I love Christmas so much. I'm a big fan of an origin story, so naturally I'm drawn to Christmas. But also, there's so many fantastic Christmas songs, and there's Christmas movies, and, Christmas trees are beautiful. We always put up so many Christmas trees in my house. One year we had 23, and they were all full-sized and fully decorated. And everybody thinks we're crazy, and that's okay. And now, the beautiful thing about Christmas, yes, Easter is about redemption and forgiveness and salvation, but Christmas, I think I like Christmas because it's that time of year when everybody acts like they're supposed to, like it feels like it's more about loving others. And I think that feels to me more like the world the way it should be. People fight less. People argue and complain less. People are more apt to take it slow and spend time with their loved ones. yeah, tomorrow. We're gonna go to dinner with at my mother-in-law's house, and have a nice dinner with our loved ones. But Christmas isn't just like a one-time thing. Like, you make a point of getting with people specifically to celebrate Christmas, people that you probably don't really hang out with all that often anyway. You see aunts and uncles and cousins, and we go to a little like a party at our church with the staff and the elders, and like I don't hang out with those people. Usually, like one or two of them, maybe I hang out with sometimes, but like we do that just because it's Christmas. I buy gifts for all the people in the office. I don't celebrate their birthdays. They don't celebrate mine. My boss she bought me a fun little puzzle, like a teeny tiny little puzzle that made my eyes hurt, and it was awesome. Christmas is the time when you actually get around to loving people like you're supposed to. And Easter's great too. It's just it's a little more morbid, but we hide that morbidity with pastel colors. And look at that, whole 9,000. It's like a 9 and 3 Easter eggs. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble and gamble and rumble and tumble and rhyme all the time. So thank you so much. I love you so much. And I will see you so much in the next one. Goodbye.